12,000 feet down, where sunlight never reaches, we approach Titanic's portside B deck, where the world's wealthiest lived in breathtaking luxury. Through this haunting, corroded entrance, we're about to access suites that cost $4,350, worth $135,000 today. These magnificent corridors once rang with servants' footsteps and champagne toasts. Now, only ghostly silence remains as we drift through abandoned palaces where unimaginable opulence has transformed into heartbreaking monuments of vanished wealth. Quick question before we dive deeper. If you could explore one room on Titanic, which would it be? The grand staircase, the engine room, a Millionaire suite? Drop your answer below. And where are you watching from? If these haunting stories are captivating you, smash that like button and subscribe. We're about to uncover even more shocking truths about where John Jacob Astor IV spent his final hours, in rooms with private promenades and marble bathrooms that couldn't save him from icy death. Charlotte Cardessa's suite, B51 through 55, was absolutely staggering. 3 interconnected palatial rooms spanning 50 feet of pure extravagance. She traveled with 14 massive trunks, 3 crates, and 4 bags of possessions. Her insurance claim? A jaw-dropping $177,352, the largest of any survivor. This drawing room once sparkled with evening gatherings. That Steinway piano filled the air with music. Now, only crushing silence and eternal pressure reign over forgotten dreams. These weren't just bedrooms. They were floating mansions with dedicated wardrobe rooms, butlers' pantries, and multiple lavish bathrooms. The ultra-wealthy never even glimpsed lower classes, living in complete isolation with private outdoor decks and round-the-clock personal service. Every exquisite detail screamed unimaginable luxury: gleaming brass fixtures, pristine marble surfaces, polished teak decking. Yet when Titanic kissed that iceberg, all this magnificent grandeur became utterly, tragically meaningless. Suite C62 belonged to J. Bruce Ismay, White Star Line's powerful managing director. From this very desk, he made business decisions during the voyage. But here's what haunts history. He climbed into a lifeboat while women and children screamed and drowned around him. His suite symbolizes the arrogance behind Titanic's creation. Dazzling luxury designed to lure millionaires, speed recklessly prioritized over safety. His shameful survival while 1,500 souls perished still sparks fury today. Beloved owners of Macy's department store made Suite C55 their final home. When lifeboats were loading, Ida absolutely refused to leave her husband's side, giving her precious lifeboat seat to her young maid. Witnesses watched through tears as they held each other on deck as freezing water rose around them. Their sitting room, those twin beds, this reading nook, all bear witness to 67 years of devoted marriage ending together in the Atlantic's merciless, icy embrace. Benjamin Guggenheim, mining magnate worth untold millions, called Suite B38 home. When disaster became inevitable, he made a legendary choice. He changed into full evening dress and calmly stated he would die like a gentleman. His loyal valet, Victor Giglio, stood beside him in formal attire. Both perished with dignity. This drawing room once rang with card games and laughter. That dressing room where he chose his final outfit to face death with class. Lady Lucille Duff Gordon, internationally renowned fashion designer, traveled first class in Suite B20. She survived in Lifeboat 1 with only 12 people aboard, designed for 70. The scandal, devastating evidence, suggested her husband bribed crew to row away from drowning passengers screaming in the water. Her elegant design studio, her vanity, her creative workspace, all represent luxury that lived while 1,500 desperate souls died horrible deaths. Survival brought crushing guilt, public shame, and endless accusations that followed her forever. Margaret Molly Brown, fearless Denver socialite and philanthropist, made Suite B58 her sanctuary. But when Titanic struck that fatal iceberg, she became a true hero, helping terrified passengers into lifeboats, then boldly taking command of Lifeboat 6 when the cowardly quartermaster refused to row back for dying survivors. Her incredible bravery earned her the legendary nickname Unsinkable. George Widener, his beloved wife Eleanor, and their brilliant son Harry traveled together in Suite B76. Young Harry, a passionate bibliophile and a Harvard graduate, had just purchased a priceless 1598 edition of Francis Bacon's Essays in London. So excited to bring it home. Father and son both perished in the freezing water. Only Eleanor survived to grieve. That library held Harry's treasured books. These heartbreaking adjoining bedrooms housed the family's final precious nights together. Immense wealth, world-class education, refined culture, none of it could prevent father and son from dying together in the black, icy Atlantic. Every breathtaking detail screamed unprecedented luxury. Brass fixtures with manufacturer marks, intricate door hardware, ceiling plasterwork rivaling New York mansions. Electric fireplaces provided ambience. Massive windows offered stunning ocean views. These weren't ship cabins. They were floating palaces fit for royalty. Yet when Titanic's hull breached, all this dazzling luxury became heartbreakingly irrelevant. Personal effects tell devastating stories. Perfume bottles on dressing tables, eyeglasses beside beds, pocket watches frozen at 2:20 a.m. Clothing hangs hauntingly in wardrobes. Deck chairs sit eternally empty. These aren't just artifacts. They're final possessions of people who believed they'd reach New York. Instead, Atlantic depths became their permanent, tragic grave. First-class bathrooms rivaled luxury hotels. Marble surfaces, brass fixtures, jewel vanities for couples. Pull-chain toilets represented cutting-edge plumbing. Running hot water was revolutionary. Bathtubs with claw feet offered relaxation. These were spa-quality amenities, fit for royalty. Yet no luxury prevented disaster's brutal force when freezing water flooded every compartment. Modern amenities were mind-blowing. Electric lighting, wall-mounted telephones, climate control, personal safes for valuables, writing desks stocked with White Star Line stationery. These advances represented 1912's cutting edge. Yet when catastrophe struck, electricity failed, telephones went silent, safes couldn't protect contents, and climate control became irrelevant against freezing water. Millionaire suites connected through elaborate passages, the grand staircase with iconic clock and cherub carvings, corridors resembling luxury hotels, private promenades for elite holders. Hidden service corridors let staff access suites discreetly. These passages facilitated Titanic's segregated society, first class isolated from lower classes. Now all lie abandoned and flooded. Connecting spaces reveal Titanic's cruel architecture. Butler's pantries, first-class elevators, formal reception areas, family doorways. Emergency staircases led to insufficient lifeboat stations. When disaster struck at 11:40 p.m., elegant passages became frantic escape routes. Yet only enough lifeboats for 1,200 of 2,200 passengers. Corridors became pathways to survival or death. Scattered artifacts revealed devastating details. Evening wear laid out for dinners never served. Cosmetics used hours before disaster. Reading materials abandoned mid-page. Dining services prepared for breakfast, never eaten. These were real people with routines, hobbies, and dreams. Every possession represents a life interrupted, dreams ended, futures cancelled by ice. Most haunting are artifacts frozen mid-use, letters stopped mid-sentence, luggage tags for destinations never reached, cameras with film never developed. Pocket watches stopped at 2:20 a.m. Children's toys abandoned mid-play. These weren't museum pieces. They were cherished possessions from people's last normal moments before disaster transformed lives into history. These suites housed Titanic's wealthiest, industrialists, aristocrats, celebrities paying premium fares. Yet when disaster struck, wealth meant nothing. Lifeboat Davids held insufficient boats. Class distinctions maintained brutally. First class boarded first, while third class faced locked gates. Luxury couldn't prevent tragedy. Everyone ultimately faced the same freezing, merciless Atlantic. "12,000 feet down, Millionaire suites collapse under pressure and bacterial consumption. Rusticals devour luxury fixtures. Sediment buries personal effects. Nature reclaims what human hands built. These suites represent human hubris, belief that wealth could conquer nature. Yet Atlantic proved stronger than steel, colder than confidence, deeper than dreams. Beyond famous suites, lesser-known accommodations held equal luxury. Private music rooms with pianos and violins, smoking alcoves with cigars and brandy. Ladies' parlors for tea and embroidery. Every wealthy passenger enjoyed personalized spaces reflecting their interests. These specialized rooms show how Titanic catered to upper-class life. Yet specialization couldn't prevent universal disaster. Final explorations reveal nursery suites where children played, observatory rooms for stargazing, interconnecting hallways with servant systems. Personal effects concentrate in debris fields, lives compressed into archaeological layers. As we ascend from 12,000 feet, suites recede below, preserved monuments to luxury, hubris, and tragedy. Wealth couldn't conquer ice,